How you doing? This is Comic Strategy. Kings for Queens. JS up to my right here, your left. And we're sitting here in this COVID pandemic that was supposed to be over like 2 months ago, realizing that it's going to be maybe a couple of years before this thing is over, if that. And in the process, thinking about wishing, hoping, and praying that it goes away and doesn't come back, which in the reality of the situation, it may or may not. So, in this conversation, there's a lot of situations that happen during this time, 2020, the year of vision. Everything's changed. Everything is changed. But there's been a lot of questions found on the table. One of the questions that we want to discuss, now we're going to talk about what's the next steps after the protests and the new normal. And we wanted to talk about black-owned businesses, but we wanted to do a little bit more investigation and research before we actually did that episode. So today we want to talk about a question that's been hitting hard the last couple of weeks, which is men being protectors of the community. So we're going to talk in particular black men with black women. But this does apply because we're going to use examples of other races doing the exact same thing. So let's discuss it. So, my question is asked to you is, are black men to be the protectors of black women? Your answer is?
Yes, of course. Of course. We have to be the protectors of our, even more black women, but yeah, as you said before, over our community. That is very important because we need that protection right back. You understand, from our black women and our community also. You know what I mean? So we have to make sure and almost be enforcers now from the way that everything is going. So I'm happy to see a lot of black men step up when, like the video I seen the other day of the guy hitting the woman and he's stepping up and whooping his ass. We cannot stand by and let stuff like that happen in our presence. You feel me? Not in our presence. We can't let that ride no more. So it's like, hey, sometimes we gotta ride. You know what I mean? We gotta ride and do what we gotta do. Because you'll feel worse if you let that shit happen in front of you and didn't do anything about it.
Well, it's definitely the right thing to do. And so that same question applied to me. Are black men protectors of black women? I say yes as well. Unfortunately, I would also say that is not necessarily the majority rule. I think it's about 50-50 right now that black men believe that they should be protecting black women, or they make some kind of excuse behind it. When my father raised me, he raised me to have this mindset to not hit a woman. And part of that is because you're already protected as you become a leader, and men are supposed to be leaders in their communities. Now, that's obviously hit or miss, and I know plenty of men who are definitely not that, but that is kind of what the role is. It is the role. And part of being a leader is protecting those within the community. So that's women and children. And now we're talking about women in particular. And I think that is the goal. So the second question is, how well are we doing that?
I cannot speak for all black men, but.
You sure?
Yeah, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't. I try to, but it just don't work.
Can you give a percentage?
No, I can't even give a damn percentage.
Okay.
But
that sounds very safe.
Yeah.
But okay, we can go with that.
But how well are we doing that? I would say 50%. But I see stuff changing, y'all.
50% is enough.
Yeah, hey, shit.
So that means not very well, right?
I got a lot of those in my day. You know what I mean? I'm just bullshitting. We can always do better. We can always do better. I'm raising a black girl right now myself, so hey, I want her to grow up in a world better than what I grew up in. So, you know, we gotta do our best to protect our black women out here.
I'm gonna answer that question too, but side question. You say you want her to grow up in a world that's better than what it is now.
Yep.
So if it's 10% better, would you be satisfied with that?
No.
20%.
No.
So what do you mean by
I'm
better?
going 90. And this is brought to you by Heineken, the finest spirits in Amsterdam.
Don't say that, because you know.
Yeah, I'm just fucking around.
No Heineken.
But Heineken, if you do want to sponsor, we are here and we help, and we're drinking in your beer. We're taking all advertisers.
This is not necessarily the reflection of Heineken or their products.
You know? Yeah, exactly. But if Colt 45 want to come up, I will hold you shit, but I won't drink it. But I'll hold it.
Slick Smart Liquor, if you're interested,
we are down. We are down. I will hold you shit up and pretend like this. You know? But yeah, back to you saying. So yeah, how do you? What percentage do you see? Do you see that we are protecting black women? And if so, how? Do you know?
I think we're doing a poor job overall, because I don't think people understand what protection actually means. It doesn't just mean you walk into McDonald's and you see this black woman getting her ass handed to her by some dude, and you go there and you stop it. That's one element of protection. The other element is integrity and character. So when you go on Facebook or social media and you're just bashing women, talking about black women, I don't like it, blah, 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 this, and that, well, that is lack of protection. You are exposing women in general, black women in particular, when you do that.
That's wrong. You do not supposed to do that in front of the world to see. You do that when you get home. I'm joking. You don't do that. You know, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Like I tell you, like, yo, no, they are great. Did I tell you what the fuck she did?
So you're not necessarily too far off.
Yeah.
So if you have a quarrel or a gripe, first of all, you should go to that person in particular and not say because that one woman did you wrong, now you're gonna like go tell her, oh, they're all like, no, that's not true.
No, they're not all like that. You know?
And protection is not based on how good of a person the woman is. It's a general carte blanche thing. Now, obviously, there's some things you can't control. If a woman does something evil, like, God forbid someone does something wrong to their child or something like that, you can't control that.
I got a long list of shit like that, so let's not go there. We are uplifting them right now. They do something.
This is the show for the benefit of women.
And we love y'all so much. You know, we love y'all so much. I'm serious. I'm not being sarcastic.
I know. It just sounded like that.
I love women so much. So much. I don't get me wrong. Y'all stop trying to act like I'm not being sarcastic. I'm telling the damn truth. Where would I be without y'all?
Where was I at? I think I just got lost. So, get back to the main point.
Right.
Protection includes the perception that you portray in your actions, character, and speech about the very women you are really commanded to protect. And we're not just talking about your mama. We're not just talking about your daughter. We're talking about the exes. Even the ones that you don't like, even the ones that did you wrong. It doesn't mean you got to go up on Facebook and air your dirty laundry. You know what she did, blah, blah, blah. First of all, that's a bitch move. Second of all, it does nothing. It doesn't make you look good as a man. And for the women who are doing amazing things, it makes them look bad. You just can't do that. It's not a good idea, especially when you say all black women or most black women. That's not protection.
But what about when they do air your shit out? What do you do?
When they do?
Yes.
This is the tough part about protection. That doesn't mean you retaliate. It means that you find a way to squash the situation and then you move forward. Now, sometimes you have to address it. Let me give you an example.
What about if you can't though? Go ahead.
I'll give you an example. Like, let's say there's kids involved. Sometimes you have to address it.
Yes.
But social media is not necessarily the way to address it, number one.
That's crazy.
Number two, just because you address it doesn't mean that now you can say carte blanche, all black women are like this.
That's crazy.
My phone is ringing. It's calling me.
That's crazy.
Keep talking.
That is crazy. You know, you cannot do that. You know, if one person, all men can't be dogs. Like one say, all men are dogs. No, we're not. Just some of them.
So here's the problem. So I was just on Facebook earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asked this question about protection, and most of the men, we're talking about maybe 10 guys.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about, what's the difference between. They were talking about what's the difference between. That's a different one. I'm sorry. Let me get back in focus.
Yeah, let's get it together.
So they were talking about should men be a protector of the community? And they're like, well, it depends. Is she cooking my meals? Is she talking to me nice? Is she protecting me? Dude, you're the protector. She is not necessarily the protector. Now she can help, of course. Yeah, can she give you a good name? Yes, I agree that it's not just we protect and that's it and that's all, but it kind of is, because at the end of the day, you have been given the strength and the challenge of being the leader. So do it, not make excuses why you can't do it, or qualify the reasons why you might do it and you're really not doing it. Just do it. It's not easy, it's definitely not fun, but it's the right thing to do. So, question 3, since we're talking about protecting women in the community, how can we better protect women in the community today? In light of everything that you know, and especially in 2020, the year of adverse change.
How can we better protect them? I got some ways. You can go get a gun license. Hey, I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, this is true.
This is protection.
This is one thing.
Yeah, this is protection.
This is one way.
We as black people, we got to protect ourselves. So get a gun license because everybody else got one. Why shouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So protect yourself. That's important. That's one way. You got me. You got another way?
So other ways is when these little whiny dudes get on Facebook or whatever social media and start complaining about black women, you saying something against that. Saying, well, actually men should be the leaders, they should not be blah, blah, blah. Calling this person out. Now, easier said than done. I think I've called a couple people out and then they want to meet and talking about gun clapping. Of course, I don't get my address out. So that
they said they want to shoot you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that's what whiny dudes do. They don't accept challenge. They don't embrace the fact that maybe they are part of the problem. I don't look at every situation like everything's my fault, but I try to look and say, okay, what can I have done to make the situation better? If there's nothing, there's nothing. But if there is, then I can at least do that part. And so when someone's on Facebook or et cetera, that's the same kind of thing we're saying to white Americans. They're like, what can we do? Well, when you get in those circles with other white folks and they're talking about black people like they're niggas and ain't shit, or laughing, calling them monkeys, whatever, here's your opportunity to say something. So it's the same thing for black men. When your fellow brothers start bashing all women, or even just talking bad about the current one they have. I mean, it's one thing when you complain about situations happening. Like, we've had those conversations as men. It's like, my wife did this, I couldn't understand it. But it's nothing. It was like, that bitch, she ain't shit. Fuck her and her fucking blah, blah. And you're just like, whoa.
He obviously been through something, and the sister brought the brother through something, and he was probably mad at that time.
He was probably mad.
We have those times.
He's probably mad.
Where we get mad.
But he still should have some level of respect. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy or cool.
I gotta introduce you to some toxic sisters, so you can see how this shit really is. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the point, though, isn't it? Isn't that the point?
See how that shit really is. What about,
I've met a couple.
Start, they start hitting you below the belt, like, blah,
yes.
blah. Like,
yes.
You'll be like,
yes.
yo.
Yes.
Someone kill her, please.
And they're out there, but here's the thing. They still need our protection as well. And that's the crazy part.
Yeah, they will need our protection.
But it goes deeper than that. So yeah, you have the toxic sister that is just crazy. I mean, just absolutely nuts. Does that mean you go on Facebook and now all black women ain't shit?
No. That's stupid.
Or even just talking about her. My girl, blah, 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 pointing her out.
You don't put your business out there like that. That ain't for everybody to see.
Or let's go even a step further where, so you date the dude that you have to break up with because he's a clown, and then this dude decides to try to clown you and make it very difficult for you to live a life for a period of time. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's a couple of years, or some people are still in these kind of situations. That's the kind of thing that needs to stop. That's the kind of thing that's a problem. So definitely want to be men who protect the community. Now, in light of what we said, I don't want to give the perception, because that is currently the perception, that black men don't feel like they need to protect the community. You mentioned it, and I also believe it as well, because I'm around mostly people who understand this. Every once in a while I find someone, and it is what it is. So no one's perfect, no one believes the same about this issue, but generally speaking, black men do understand they are part of the goal when it comes to protecting black women in the community. Now, we may be wrong in that aspect. Make sure you tell us in the comments how you feel or what you think about that. Have any other comments or anything else you want to say?
No. I just want to say we need protection too, ladies. That's black men.
So what do you mean by protection? Because it's not the same thing. What's the protection here?
What's the protection?
They buy guns too?
No, don't do that, because there'd be a lot of brothers getting killed. I don't want that. But if that's what you want to do, protect yourself, do it. But
So you're saying if black women buy guns, there'd be a lot of dead brothers. I was just said.
I plead the fifth. But.
Oh my God.
Whew,
how are we so different, man?
Hey. I've been through some shit in my life. You know what I mean?
Hey.
You know what I mean?
Same
been
here.
through some shit in my life. So, hey. But, hey, I'm for us all arming ourselves. But,
So what are they protecting us from?
When somebody comes to you like, yo, so-and-so did this, blah, blah, you should be like, yo, I know him. Go and take that shit somewhere else.
Well, that's definitely an important aspect of
I don't want to
relationship.
hear that shit. He did what? No, he didn't. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Protection.
I've dated a couple of women who, when I broke up, they told me it was going to be their goal to make sure that I'm not in another relationship ever again. And so they would watch me, or I don't even know how they did it, to be quite honest with you, but I would get into another relationship or try to, and they would find a way to talk to that person and say some things to help in the relationship.
So I messed that one up too.
And so there are fellas that have this kind of an idea, right? And the first thing they say, this is why I don't protect black women. That's no. I ran into a woman who has some issues, and it is what it is. But that doesn't mean that exonerates you from the importance of being the leader and doing the right thing. The wrong thing would have been me whining about it on social media, or whining about the situation.
Let me ask you a question. So, do you think that it was just that sister that was like that, or do you think she was brought to that?
Well, I said there was two different ones. So, the first one, she had a lot of hurt in her life.
Yeah.
She grew up, and
Was any of it from you? It's just a question.
Well, the way I broke it up was real bad. I just cut it off. That was bad. So that was on me. I even apologized for that later on.
Did you have somebody else or something?
I didn't. I just knew this wasn't going anywhere, and she was getting on my nerves. So I was like, it's over.
So she was nagging you.
She was definitely getting on my nerves. But she wasn't necessarily nagging me. She could have been like, "Are you okay? I'm done. That's it. I'm sick of you tired of me asking questions."
So what did she specifically do?
That's been a while ago, sir.
Okay. He just pleaded the fifth.
So now the other person I think actually had a mental issue. I think she was. I knew she took some kind. I think she took some kind of medicine. I know she was taking something. I really don't know the details. In fact, I won't even put that out there because I'm not even sure. So let's just let that go. But one lady for sure. It was based off her past experiences, and I didn't help the matter. And so she was going to make me pay for that.
Did she make you?
But it's not like I cheated on her. It's not like I did anything wrong. It's just when I was done, and I was very cool about it. I was like, I'm out. This ain't working. I'm not interested. Don't call me.
I'm noticing a pattern, brother.
A pattern.
Of I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. Like, what did I do? Was it the Salisbury steak? No, I'm fucking done. I'm out. Yeah.
Trust me. That particular time, I would even say it's me. It was me that time. Any other time I've done that, I've had to have endured a lot of something to make me be like, I'm out. That's just,
that's understandable, bro.
So I know I don't look good right now.
It's all right. Hey,
I definitely was not protecting women in the community.
Hey.
I am also.
We all have our times, man.
Also responsible for this process, and I haven't always done it right. Usually I have, but not always. And I've tried to apologize to every single person that I fell short. I've tried. I think it's a couple of people I just can't reach anymore. But thanks, JS for
you said you can't reach there no more. I understand.
You sound skeptical. But anyways, so that is the show for today. This is Kings for Queens. I am Comix Strategy.
This nigga said he can't reach him. Yeah, you ain't picking up the phone. Hey, man, it's all right.
I tried in the show, man. You didn't let me in the show.
I can't reach him. Go ahead, my man. Hey, protect these sisters, yo. But if you can't reach them, shit, you can't reach them. You know? Okay.
Our show is gone to shit. So, that being said, I'm the failure to the black race right now, but I'm going to get it right before next week. I'm Comix Strategy. This is JS. This is Kings for Queens, the men's talk show for the benefit of women. And we are having an honest conversation about our role, or lack thereof, of protecting black women in the community. And we both agree that it needs to be much better than what it currently is. And it is part of, as men, our leadership roles go. At least it's supposed to be. With that, have a good rest of your evening or day whenever you watch this show, and stay safe. COVID is making the comeback. COVID-19 is like it's COVID-19 part 2.